Ladies and gentlemen, they tell us that life is meant to be shared, that friendships define us, that the people around us determine our worth. But what if you find yourself alone? What if the calls stop coming? What if the invitations never arrive? What if the people who once stood by your side slowly disappear? Does that mean you're less valuable, less worthy, less important? Absolutely not. Because solitude isn't emptiness. A woman with no friends. The world looks at her and assumes something must be wrong. They assume she's broken, awkward, unlikable. But they don't see the truth. They don't see the countless nights she stayed strong when no one checked in. They don't see the battles she fought alone. They don't see the resilience she built when the world turned its back. To every woman who walks alone, who eats alone, who celebrates victories with no one to share them with, this is for you. Society makes you believe that without friends you are missing something. But what if I told you that solitude is one of the greatest gifts you can receive? What if I told you that standing alone isn't a sign of weakness, but of power? Because the truth is, the woman who has no friends is the woman who has learned to stand without validation. She has learned to be her own home, her own comfort, her own light in the darkness. She doesn't beg for company. She doesn't chase people who left. She doesn't shrink herself to fit into spaces that were never meant for her. She grows. She evolves. She becomes unstoppable. Why you feel alone? Maybe you were too kind to those who took advantage of you. Maybe you outgrew the people who never wanted to grow with you. Maybe your standards became too high for those who were used to mediocrity. And that's okay. Because the loneliness you feel now is not a punishment. It's preparation. It's shaping you into the woman who will one day attract the right people. The ones who will see your worth without you having to prove it. The ones who will celebrate you, not tolerate you. But until then, you must learn to love your own presence, to take yourself on walks, to enjoy your own company, to be at peace in silence. Because the woman who finds strength in solitude is the woman who will never settle for less than she deserves. Being alone teaches you things most people will never understand. It forces you to confront yourself, to sit in your thoughts, to discover who you really are when there is no one to impress, no one to perform for, no one to lean on. It is in this solitude that you learn self-respect, that you start setting boundaries, that you no longer tolerate mistreatment. Because once you learn to love your own company, you stop allowing people who bring chaos into your life just for the sake of not being alone. You begin to cherish the peace of being with yourself, rather than the exhaustion of chasing people who do not value you. You become selective. You start to see the difference between true connection and convenient companionship. You no longer settle for people who only show up when they need something from you. And that's where your power begins. So let them talk, let them assume, let them believe you are lonely, lost, broken. Because the truth is, you are none of those things. You are powerful beyond measure. You are fearless in the face of solitude. You are becoming the woman you were always meant to be. And when the right people come, and they will not complete you, they will not fix you, because you were never broken. They will simply align with the force you have already become, a future of strength. One day, you will look back and realize that the solitude you once feared was actually the foundation of your greatness. You will see that every moment you spent alone was a moment you spent growing, evolving, becoming the woman who no longer depends on external validation to feel whole. You will walk into rooms with confidence not because you are surrounded by people, but because you know who you are. You will no longer fear silence, because in silence you found your strength. You will stand so tall in your own power that the right people will have no choice but to be drawn to you. And even if they don't come, you will still be enough. So stand tall, walk alone, and know that the greatest love story you will ever experience is the one you build with yourself.